First of all, this is not supposed to be a controversial video. I don't want to get any hate mail. I think bullet journaling is really cool. I really admire the people who have basically turned it into an art form. I admire the people who just use the basic foundations of bullet journaling. I just admire anyone who has been able to find a planning system that works for them. Like, more power to you. But in this video, I wanted to share some of the reasons why I hate bullet journaling. I'm just kidding. Hello wonderful humans, and welcome back to the Bliss feed. This video is just gonna be me talking about why bullet journaling doesn't work for me personally. I actually used to be a paper planner. I was a person who preferred paper planning. I was not a paper planner myself. I just really liked creative things like journaling and making collages, so I really liked the personal touch of paper planning. It was fun, it was tangible, and I felt like I could make it my own. So usually I would just buy a simple store-bought agenda to keep track of my calendar and my tasks. I think it was junior year that I actually created my own planner. So I bought the Happy Planner rings, I bought this fancy and expensive disc bunch, I printed out my own dotted paper, I hole punched 2 sheets of plastic, and I put together my own planner. Every month I would sketch out my weekly layouts, make my habit tracker, write out my goals for the month, etc. So I'm not sure if this qualifies as a bullet journal. I had different types of bullets, like what was migrated, what was canceled, what were notes, what were appointments. I had a habit tracker, but I didn't have some other features of a bullet journal like a future log or one of those pages where you write down all of the days of the month down the side and then you write the events next to that. A lot of my friends called it a bullet journal. I just refer to it as my planner. So then less than 2 years ago, which actually blows my mind because I really thought I'd been doing digital planning for much longer than 2 years, but just less than 2 years ago, in 2018, I just started to get kind of frustrated with my planning system. Sophomore and junior year were really busy, and that just tested the limits of my little old paper planner. So for example, one of the most challenging projects that I remember working on was organizing this day of volunteering in junior year, and I actually took a photo of my planner during that week, and even just looking at it now stresses me out. So I was periodically looking at and testing out different digital planning tools. I would get really excited about something that had a ton of great features, a ton of great reviews. I would download it, I would find that it was just too complicated, it didn't fit my life, and then I'd go right back to paper planning. Finally, one day, it was like fate. I watched Rowena Tsai's video called Productivity: How I Plan and Organize My Life to Get Things Done. In it, she mentioned a tool that I had never heard of before called TeuxDeux, and I noticed that it bore a striking resemblance to what I already was doing on paper, just on a screen. So I tried that out in August of 2018 before starting my senior year, and the rest is history. I actually did take a brief little venture back into paper planning when I was traveling. I thought it would be a fun way to do my travel planning, get creative, and then have like a tangible souvenir of my entire trip. And it was okay, but after that I was like, okay, next time I'm just gonna plan my trip digitally, I think. So now that I've been on both sides of the debate, I've used paper for a long time, I've used digital for a long time, I wanted to talk about the reasons why digital continues to hold my heart, and I think it forever will. So first of all, as you saw in that photo that I showed you, my paper planner got very visually cluttered. And if you've seen my most watched video on this channel, you know that I don't like clutter, whether it is in my room or in my planner. Things get rescheduled, edited, and so my planner was full of whiteout, eraser marks, scribbles, cramped handwriting when my list got too long. With digital planning, it's just always neat and beautiful. It's so easy on the eyes, and that just makes me feel more organized and more capable of accomplishing my to-do list. So I now use Google Calendar for scheduling events and time blocking my day, but back when I used a paper planner for tasks, I also used it to keep track of appointments. Now the problem is a paper planner isn't that portable, so like at school, my planner usually would be in my backpack, not necessarily within reach. If someone asked me about my availability, sometimes I didn't have my planner anywhere near me, or I'd have to pull it out, flip through all the pages to find the correct date, whereas with my phone, it's pretty much always on me, and it's super easy to just scroll to the date that we're talking about. Speaking of time blocking my day, that is something I've only started doing this year, but I can't imagine doing it with a paper system. Like, I'm sure you could sketch out a daily agenda in your journal, but then with your to-do list, with your schedule, all in the same place, I feel like that just takes up a lot of space. With my digital planning system, I use Google Calendar, so I can very easily just click and drag to create a time block type in the name of whatever I plan to be doing during that block of time. As the day progresses, if I need to adjust, I can move those around, and then within my to-do list, I can create headers to organize all of my tasks under, and those are just as easy to edit and rearrange. So one of the most important features of a digital planner for me is the ability to rearrange my tasks in the order that I plan to do them. I actually tried doing this with my paper planner. I would take a pencil and I would write in teeny tiny little numbers to indicate the order that I plan to do the tasks in. As you can imagine, this got pretty messy, and a lot of times if I needed to reorder stuff, I would end up with numbers like 2.5 and 2.75, and then throughout the day you have to be scanning throughout your entire list to figure out what is the next number, and it might not necessarily be 3, it might be 2.75. With digital planning, at the start of each day I put everything in order, I create headers as checkpoints throughout my day, and as the day goes by, if something changes, which it inevitably will, then it's super easy to just drag and drop to adjust. Aside from moving things around within my day, I also move things around a lot within my week. So at the start of each week, I pretty much plan all of my tasks in advance. I have a general idea of what I'm going to be doing on each day, but again, things always change, and so in that case, I just drag tasks to different columns to schedule them to different days. Like maybe I had a couple of errands on my to-do list for a certain day, and it turns out I don't have access to a car that day, so then I can just take all of those errands, drag them to a different day, and that's it. I don't have to draw arrows, cross things out, use whiteout, anything like that. This feature also really comes in handy for me when, for example, I might think of something that I need to do next week, but I don't know which day I'm gonna do it. So what I do is I will schedule that task for the Monday of that next week. When I sit down to do my Sunday planning, I'll look at all the things I put in the Monday column, and then I'll do my real actual planning process and decide what day of the week I'm going to do those things on. One of my least favorite things about the bullet journaling system is that it's kind of hard to schedule things far in advance because you're making all of these weekly layouts by hand, so maybe you haven't gotten to creating that spread yet. And I know you can always come up with some workaround, like you can have a page where you write down all of the tasks for which you don't have a weekly spread yet. But for me, I just think it's so much easier to be able to literally click ahead to that day, schedule that task for that specific day, and not have to worry about it until it comes up. So for example, if you have some sort of a meeting next month and you need to prepare a handout the night before, with a digital planner, you can schedule that task for exactly that day and not worry about it until it's time for the meeting. So luckily, I never lost my paper planner, but it definitely was a fear of mine. One weekend I did leave it at school, and I remember just feeling so lost that weekend. I had no idea what to work on. I tried to reconstruct my to-do list from memory. That did not go super well. It was not a great weekend. With a digital planner, unless like the company's servers are destroyed or something, I don't know how computers work, but in general, I don't really have to worry about losing my planner. I can even sign into my to-do list from different devices, and it'll always be there, it'll always be synchronized. By the way, there's a link in the description if you guys want to try TeuxDeux, whether you're switching over from paper planning or just over from a different digital planning tool. It's super simple and effective, and I've been using it for almost 2 years, so let me know what you guys think of it if you try it. Finally, the final reason that I prefer digital planning is just the fact that you can have like unlimited tasks. I am someone who likes to write out very specific to-do list items. It makes me feel more clear about what I have to get done, and it's also just really satisfying to be able to check off more to-dos. So with my digital planner, I have the freedom to do that. Sometimes my to-do list literally looks like send email to this person, send email to that person, eat a snack, do this workout video, then this workout video, shower. So yeah, those are all the reasons why I've switched from paper planning to digital planning and why I have continued to use it for almost 2 years now. And aside from my planner, there have been other parts of my life that I've moved over from paper to digital. Like for example, my content calendar used to be this stack of papers where I printed grids and then tried to write in what I planned to post on Instagram that day. It was an absolute mess. Now I do that all on Trello and it has been amazing. I have recently transitioned more of my weekly planning process from paper over to digital, and I just feel like anytime I take a step like that, anytime I move something from paper to digital in my life, It just makes me feel more productive and more organized. So digital planning has worked very well for me, but everyone needs a different planning system, so this is by no means a video trying to convince you to join the other side. My only wish is that everyone can find a planning system that helps them to stay organized and productive, and so maybe these points that I have brought up in this video will help you to decide what would work best for you. Let me know what you think of my reasons. Feel free to disagree with me. Let us know in the comments what your planning system looks like. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Bye!